Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of these Bandax Elite Plus custom hand wraps. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so today we have these Bandax Elite Plus hand wraps. We're going to be doing a close-up weighing and review on. These are some custom built hand wraps by Bandax, who is a company based out of France and manufactures there as well. I originally wanted to get these wraps about a year ago. I just never pulled the trigger on them. And these Elite Pluses are their highest end version. The main difference between these and the Elites is they use a gel padding over the knuckles that you see here, where the Elite model uses standard gauze. The other features of this wrap is you do have these laces that go between the fingers that are non-adjustable. And you have the option to go with a leather outside case. And you can see here, it's a really nice looking casing that goes around your hand. If you don't go for this option, then you'll get the standard polyester, which is very similar to your standard hand wrap. You do have a thumb loop right there that your thumb slides in through. And you can see the inside liner as well that uses kind of that same polyester type material that kind of creates a cage. You have this little grip bar that your hand grips onto once you close your fingers to make a fist. And then you do have a Velcro closure for the wrist support itself, and a little Bandax tag on the inside. It also has this elastic piece that kind of holds it together. So there you have it. That is the left side, and here's the right. You do have a choice for different colors. I just went with the standard white. And so you can see a pretty cool and unique hand wrap. Let's go ahead and put these on the scale, see how much these weigh. So the right wrap is about 3 ounces, and I'm assuming the left wrap will probably be around the same, so about 3.1. So weight-wise, they're the exact same weight of about 3 ounces. Let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on these Bandax Elite Plus custom hand wraps. Bandax is a company based out of France that hand builds these hand wraps in France, custom made to order. And I saw these about a year and a half ago through Bandax on their Instagram profiles. I was really interested at the time, just didn't pull the trigger at the time, wanted to see a little bit more from them. And they have a couple fighters that use their products. Guys like Shakur Stevenson I've seen use their hand wraps. And I did a review on some of the Fortress boxing hand wraps you guys may have seen on my channel. So I'm always looking for some new innovative products that haven't been tried or reviewed yet. And these were on my radar, so I decided to pull the trigger on them. They are definitely expensive. These are 139 euros, which is about 163 US dollars, which I'll kind of get into here later on in the review on whether or not that's worth the price. But you can see a really cool custom looking hand wrap. There's 2 different models you can choose from and 4 different sizes. Now, the models you can choose from are the Elite and the Elite Plus. The main difference between the two is going to be the kind of knuckle padding you get. The Elite Plus, like you see here, uses a gel padding, which is almost an inch thick of gel, where the standard Elite model just uses standard gauze. Now, these hand wraps are made to be reused. You know, I asked them about how long these should last. You know, obviously they're expensive, so I would assume they would last a long time. And about a year of general use is what they said. So depending, there's obviously variables with that. Some of you guys may be pro level fighters or high level amateurs, and you guys are training every day of the week, and you might bust these out in 6 months just because you train so much. And some of you guys may not. You might have them last a year or maybe even longer. So there's definitely variables with that, but the general consensus was about a year on how long these would last. And you can see you also have the option for an outside leather case right here. Whether or not you want to go with that, that's completely up to you. I just thought it looks pretty clean and adds a little bit of nice durability and more of a luxury feel to it. Otherwise, you can go with the standard polyester casing model. And 4 different sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. And the way that you do that is you measure the width of your wrist, so from that side to that side, and then you also measure the width of your palm from the outside of your index finger to the outside of your pinky finger. Like you guys see on the screen, there's a measuring chart you can use to determine what size you need, and from there you go by that chart that's on there that tells you what size you should get. So Coloring wise, you can choose, you know, standard like white like I did. I just wanted to kind of go with the simple, clean color. But you can also choose custom colors, black, orange, you can choose logos. So there's a lot of customization. These are made to order. So when you order these, they build them out for you. It's not like they just have a warehouse full of these wraps. They custom build them. And obviously if you choose different colors, customization, you know, that's gonna take some time for these to be built out. These took about a week and a half for me to receive them, which was pretty good considering that they had to get them built out for me. I didn't do any crazy colors or logos or anything like that. I assume if I did like a custom color with like the C-squared boxing logo, it probably would have taken longer, but I wasn't really too concerned about customizing it. I just wanted it clean looking, and you can actually see some of like the red color from my gloves kind of roughed off on it right there. That was pretty much it. But features of this wrap, again, for the Elite Plus, I got the almost 1 inch of gel padding over the knuckles. You do have these fixed laces right here that goes in between the fingers. I opted again for the leather case. You can see that it has the material that is all stitched on through the back of the hand that rotates over to where you're kind of creates like a grip bar for your fingers to grip onto. You have the thumb loop that goes over your thumb right there. And then also the inside uses the same kind of polyester liner that's really nice and durable. And then you do have a Velcro wrist strap that has elastic properties to it. So it's not like a wrist strap where it's just a piece of leather and you can't stretch it out. You can see that this actually can stretch out pretty nicely. It's like some really high level medical gauze. And then you obviously have the tabbed end right here with the Velcro that goes around. And then the inside has this elastic that keeps the actual wrap together on the inside. Construction wise, it's not too bad. I mean, you can see some stitching right there. That could probably been done a little bit cleaner, not as even as you would like to see, but whatever. I mean, overall looks pretty good. Some stitching right there on that edge. Could have been done cleaner, but you can see there's a seam where they seam the actual gel padding on the inside. So let's go ahead and put these on, see how they fit. Now I decided to go with the size medium. And the first thing I noticed when I started wearing these a couple of weeks ago was that they were really tight at first. Now I didn't know if that just has something to do with the sizing or if just needs a little bit of a break-in period, but I did give them my hand dimensions and this is the size that I fell under, which was medium. Should I have gone for a large? I don't know, but my dimensions fell into the medium category. So the first thing I noticed was that the thumb was really tight. So this wrap actually took about a week to really break in, both using them while training and just opening and closing my hands. If you feel any kind of discomfort when you spread your hands open, that means that the actual wrap is probably too tight. So it's really important that you give them the correct dimensions across the fingers or across the palm, because that's what's going to determine the actual width of the wrap. But the knuckle padding feels really good. They use this gel padding, which is a really great job of absorbing shock, and you get enough padding to really go over your knuckles. It does come with these fixed laces, and I definitely think that's a missed opportunity because you can see that there's no way for me to adjust the tension on that. So you can see how much slack there is with these. And the Fortress Boxing ones, they're actually Velcro, and you can actually stretch them back and adjust the tension. And then there's a Velcro piece on the back that allows it to stick on the back of the palm, which I like a lot better. I just feel like this doesn't give enough tension, and you can kind of see that the pad just kind of has the propensity to want to lift up. And you can see actually where it kind of has wrinkles in the back from me putting my hands in tighter fitting gloves. And again, you can actually see just how much slack there is. To me, the actual pieces that go between the fingers is what's going to give you that metacarpal protection between your fingers. So like when you wrap your hands with standard Mexican hand wraps, you're wrapping around, you're wrapping around, you're wrapping around, then you go between the fingers and you lock your fingers in with that kind of that crisscross motion. And with these, you don't really get that because there's really no way to adjust the tension. So it's basically just kind of a loose, feeling shoelace that just kind of goes in between your fingers, but it doesn't really offer any metacarpal protection, which I think is a missed opportunity. But this feels good right there. The thumb, you can see, is pretty tight, so it just takes a while for me to break the thumb in. And then the wrist support, you want to kind of keep this piece together when you're wrapping your hand up, because what happens if the wrist is a little on the big side, it starts to kind of buckle that back leather when you wrap it. So you can adjust the tension of the wrap because this is elastic, so it's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up just to show you guys. And then the Velcro piece just kind of attaches to there. You feel like it has a good amount of wrist support on the lower section of your wrist right here, But some guys like their hand wraps to kind of drop lower, and you can still see that I have range of motion and flexibility with my wrist. Some people like it to drop down lower to get more of a cast-like feel. You're not gonna get that with this just because of how high this sits. Or if you use extra wrap, which will kind of defeat the purpose of this because then it'll be too bulky. So if you need something lower, then this probably won't be the wrap for you. I mean, it offers pretty solid wrist support, but again, it doesn't drop down too low. I do like how they cut out this thumb section right here to kind of give you a better range of motion. I feel like if there's some material here, it would be too stiff, so I do like that. And they really do a nice job of cutting open the palm, so you can see that I can really open and close my hand with no resistance whatsoever. So that feels good. And also the big thing about having this cut out here is when you make a fist, you don't want that piece to kind of flip out and flare out right here. So it's good that they cut that open. I can make a good fist, the padding goes over. The big issue to me is going to be these laces and that they don't provide any tension or protection really other than just going in between the fingers. Now the next big thing is going to be fit. Now I have two different kinds of gloves here. The first glove I have are these 16-ounce Nicali gloves. I got these gloves because these kind of run a little bit larger in the hand pocket. And the issue that I had with these is when you slide your hand in here with the gloves, if you don't have somebody helping you, what happens is this pad has a habit of wanting to roll up because you're sliding your hand in here and the pad will do the one of that. So what happens is you see those wrinkles on the back right there, and that's from the pad lifting up. So when you put your hand in here, you have to be really careful of trying to keep that pad flat. And it takes a little bit of a pain to put these on. So again, the process of putting it on, especially when you're putting your second glove on, can be kind of a pain because of how snug it is. It's almost like you have to kind of break in the glove a little bit in order for you to really fit your hand in there. So I'm gonna open this up a little bit more, give me a little bit more breathing room. So I should slide it in there. There we go. So now that it's in, it's all in there. It feels comfortable. One thing with these particular gloves, these Nicalis or the Casanovas, whatever you want to call them, is there a wider hand compartment. So the nice thing about these Bandax Wraps is it actually fills in the void that I hate with Mexican style gloves that usually have that roomier hand compartment. It's just putting them in is a pain, and making sure that that wrap doesn't fold over when you put your hand in here is the main thing. Now, the performance of it is great. If you're looking for something that really protects your knuckles, especially for like shock absorption, it does a really good job. I'm gonna go ahead and slide my hand out. But again, you can see that it just has that kind of that folding, and it feels just sloppy around the knuckle. I feel like the straps could be better, and then just trying to get it on and off is kind of a pain. And you can see this kind of flips up because there's no way to really push this down. I got my 12-ounce 1v1 gloves here, these old school style gloves, and these are obviously more compact than those Nicali gloves. So I'll show you how these go on with this as well. I'm trying to open the laces as much as I can right there. And again, when you're sliding your hand in here, you want to make sure that that pad, and you can see, I'm trying to reverse it for you guys, that pad takes up a lot of room. So if you kind of come in with a straight angle, it's going to kind of catch on the back of the glove on the inside liner. So you kind of have to create a fist, because if you open your hands up, I feel like it ends up kind of snagging on that. So kind of slide your hand in here, and again, it's a really tight fit. So now these gloves are way too tight. I mean, you might be able to even see the padding right there. That's the gel padding kind of protruding right here, and that's just too much padding over the knuckles, and it's just way too tight. It's pretty uncomfortable. Like my hand can't even breathe in there. So if you're looking to use these with the snugger fitting like fight gloves, unless that fight glove really has a tight hand compartment or loose hand compartment, excuse me, it's going to be a super tight fit. You're really going to have to break them in because of how much room this pad takes up when you slide your hand in there. So those are the main drawbacks with these. I just feel for $163, that's a lot of money for gloves or hand wraps, especially hand wraps that have some flaws that you see here, especially with no way to adjust the tension on that. The gel pad is really nice. I feel like it does a great job of protecting your hands, and if you really want to fill the void in some larger hand compartment type gloves, that's really good for that. But again, I feel like this is nothing that you can't do with some standard hand wraps, where you can just get like the Skulltech pads and just wrap your hands with standard $15 wraps and kind of get the same feel of that. I just feel like it's way too expensive for what you get. Maybe if they added more features to this to make it more form-fitting, more streamlined, more adjustability, and even then I still think $163 is a huge amount of money. I mean, maybe $100, which is still pretty high for hand wraps, but $163 is a ton of money. I mean, you're really paying just really for like some polyester, some cotton, a little bit of leather, and that's a lot of money to be asking for some hand wraps like these. Again, I mean, I get the concept behind it and I like the innovation, but I feel like there's some improvements that need to be made and adjusting in price, in my opinion. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Bandax hand wraps. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.